but everybody likes it better than my like real intro I made. So
Could try making fun of me
No, I
backwards.
I loved it. It was nice.
Yeah, I know. It's really good.
Alright guys, welcome to what is sure to be the Awkward Awesome Tricast. I'm Rifkin, joined as normal by Zombie Girl, but we actually have a third voice on the call. This is going to be James, aka the WCS America translator guy. Say hello, dude.
Hello,
Yeah. Alright, we're going to do our introductions, then we'll have James talk a little bit about Journey, because I think Journey needs a very nice picture painted of him. Spawning in the bottom right corner of the map from IBD Gaming, it's going to be the red Protoss player Iron Man, aka puCK.
hello.
In the upper left, as the Green Terran, it is Journey.
I like the enthusiasm. Woo!
Woo!
So cheering and jeering. So we'll talk about Journey here in a sec. I'll let James, because specifically, especially why I wanted him to join us on the cast today. But a little note, guys. Iron Man. I didn't know if this was real or not, but someone told me puCK actually changed his name to Iron Man at Red Bull, not because he was trying to be like cool and like hip, but he just didn't want the casters to get confused saying puCK and Huck. And I have fallen prey to that so many times. So if he did do that, and that was the real reason, that's the true story, that's really freaking cool.
It actually is a true story because I asked him at Red Bull Battleground. I asked him why he changed to Iron Man, and that's actually what he told me.
Nice.
And I
But
think I said
Journey.
that-
Well, I mean, like, I think we all know puCK, quite frankly, compared to Journey at this point. Journey's a really talented upcoming Terran player. Well, I wouldn't call him Patami. He was kind of halfway established before, but, yeah, Zombie Grub introduced him to me. We had a show match with him a little while ago. I think he's got absolutely fantastic play styles. Tell us a little more about him, James.
Journey was a former SKT Telecom T1 player, but I don't know if you guys all watch Pro League. But as you know, the SK Telecom has a very, very strong lineup with Parting, Classic, Sulky, and everyone. So him and Saxtery, they were kind of like backup players, and after a while, they kind of got tired of just helping them practice for matches and things like that, and they wanted opportunity for themselves to shine before they end up retiring. So they both held hands and left the team in hopes to find more opportunities, more interest on teams, and yeah. So right now he just does the Twitch broadcasting, practice on ladders, and pretty much whatever stuff that he can find online to participate, to show the world that he is capable of being picked up and playing against some big names.
See, no, I thought it was because that, and actually Journey going for Double Reaper, but I thought it was because they had actually cut the fat, as they said, to focus more on Pro League. And right after they said they would do that, 3 people left, 2 of which were Saxtery and Journey. So I didn't think it was actually of their own accord to leave the team. But they were just like
A lot of times when players leave the team, it's I guess there are some half and half where either they don't have the opportunities to play, represent the team and stuff, or they just they don't really get kicked out of a team. If anything, they'd receive an offer that they're not 100% satisfied with, which will eventually end up to leaving of a team. But Journey and Saxtery's case was that they were just pretty much a practice partners in the team, and they wanted more out of their StarCraft 2 professional gamer career.
Well, pretty, I don't know, about standard as it gets here for openings. I mean,
except the T-Reaper opener.
well, the Double Reaper opener versus Protoss is a little bit odd. So I was talking more about puCK, looking directly at his base. Go for those faster Colossus, but I say standard, and this is what I was kind of waiting to see if a Warp Prism was going to come out.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing he did at the Red Bull Battleground.
Yeah,
against
but
Bomber.
here's the thing. Like, this isn't necessarily a troll build. In fact, this is probably what puCK is best known for. I actually cast a game where puCK did this versus Bomber. Bomber agreed not to build any Vikings, if puCK agreed not to build any Oracles. This is just like a random ladder game. So, I'm not surprised to see this come out here. This looks trolly and it's kind of silly, but what's really frustrating is this can and sometimes is effective. This is like,
I don't.
It can be very effective.
It's not going to be against what Journey is doing, though. Of course, the idea is that you always have this certain timing attack that you have with like a few Marines to pop the overcharge, and you come again later with the medevac. Journey actually going for Marine Hellion, medevac could push in here, pop the overcharge on one base, and then go to the other one, and with absolutely no buffer for the Colossus, I don't know if he's really going to deal with it that effectively.
Well, he pushes back the first couple of Hellions here. The Colossus, okay, so here's where the advantage comes in normally, guys. You know, Marauders and such are what you make to start shutting this down, but the Colossus jumps in and out of the Warp Prism, thus juking out the shots. Marines don't work like that. Marines are going to get to connect. The Warp Prism is going to give the Colossus significantly more mobility, but Zombie Grip's kind of right. I don't know if this will work. A Photon Overcharge will help at the start, but dropping the main...
Oh, you could actually catch the mothership on the way back to the main and get it for the pop. You know, the mothership core actually pops. That would be absolutely disastrous. But it's the only option that Iron Man really has. Oh, puCK goes into the... Or puCK. Actually, the Hellions do not go into the natural. Okay, they go straight up to the main. And where's the mothership core? Where's the overcharge?
Overcharge. 5 seconds.
Oh, he used it on the natural, so that's where the Hellions left. Oh, he does bring back the Colossus.
He gets picked up. He sees it.
You know, 10 probes went down with that too, so that's pretty nice drop. The Colossus coming back, I mean, it's... I don't know, this is odd, because puCK is really not going unit heavy, right? Like, he's not, you know, maybe a cannon or something would get into defense with that line. I don't know, but right now, Journey is, he's got to worry about his own base. Here comes that Colossus.
Yeah, okay, I suppose SCVs, he doesn't actually have enough ground units, but he has a Marauder or two coming out, and that's really all you need is a Marauder or two to take care of a Colossus. And a Viking, of course. This Viking's gonna help a lot.
This is...
I want to drop in the main, or the natural of Iron Man again.
But puCK should be able to hold this, as we see. He wins it off with a couple Stalkers and a Zealot. I mean, this looks kind of like a joke, guys, but this is what I was talking about. The Marauders, their attacks are disjointed or whatever when the Warp Prism picks it up, kind of canceled out. Both players taking some worker damage, but also, I mean, for puCK, I'm really glad he's not all-inning to the point where he's just doing this. I mean, this is where a lot of his attention's focused right now, of course, but he's also defending at home quite nicely. But here we go, this is what starts shutting this down. I mean, if puCK has to dive in, the Viking will work. The problem is, puCK also researched Gravitic Drive behind this, guys. So this Warp Prism already runs out of Viking naturally. It runs so much faster with this upgrade.
I guess they both do survive.
Sorry, guys.
I can mute your mic while your dog's there if you don't mind, dude. But yeah, so it's just a little bit of a weird situation to be in right now. Drop him back towards the main for Journey. I mean, I think he's gonna realize puCK's doing some gimmicks.
Oh no! Oh, I wouldn't mind.
It's hard, but doesn't quite kill it. Natural base in some trouble. Overcharge, not enough energy for that. Drives the probes out. Drop of the main also, well, this is where the Stalkers went, but as he tries to focus down that dropship, sorry, the medevac, the Marines are starting to kill a lot of these Stalkers.
2 Stalkers. The Colossus comes back, but with 3 Marauders, it actually can't take on this army.
I think this doesn't work because of the map. Like, I think if there was like more space around the natural he could drop in, like this would work a million times better, but the limited surface area on King Sejong, I think, is really playing against what puCK's trying to do. I mean, this is cool, I applaud it, but it's not the late game play, right?
It doesn't work against someone who does anything but the ordinary. Like, you know, if it's the usual 7-8 minute pop of the overcharge, well, your Colossus is already over their dealing damage at a perfect time, and you pop the overcharge and you're fine. If they have a medevac, you're not fine. Like, any medevac drop whatsoever, even like a Widowmine drop, you're not fine. And if that is the case, and, you know, only puCK's really gonna be able to tell us, like, this is hard counter, this is not a hard counter, he isn't playing the Journey, because Journey is someone who does weird stuff. He will do a 1-on-1 base, he will do a Hellion maneuver, he will do, like, a Proxy Rax Reaper and then leave after 10 seconds. Like,
yeah, we had actually kind of alluded to a show match that Journey had played versus Impact a little while ago, and the one thing that was cool about that show match is he played every game differently. It was a different style. It was never the same thing twice. And, I mean, I imagine we're going to see a lot more of that reflected here today. I mean, this game opens up this way. puCK kind of plays it a little bit weird and odd, but Journey, as you said, kind of thwarts it off. Now puCK's left at home with, quite frankly, not that strong of a force. There's no upgrades behind this is what makes this really scary. Normally your Colossus have level 2 weapon upgrades. They're going to slice and dice the Marines. But here he is with a couple of force fields. 2 Colossus is the majority of his army.
And with 6 Vikings, the 3 just now popping out, it's going... I mean, did he even have enough Stalkers to really take it down before the Colossus die?
That's a good question, because I don't know. This is going to be a weird engagement, because puCK has got a really nice army, but it's so ragtag, I think is the best way to describe it, right? Like, he's got the tools necessary, but no buffer for any of it. So if he can do the right damage, if like the Immortals shoot the Marauders instead of the Marines, the Colossus target the Marines precisely, I mean, like an insanely perfect amount of micro necessary, he holds this pretty well. But Journey's not done behind this. I mean, behind this, he's taken a third. Ghost Academy's on the way for those Templar that he's possibly worried about, which he did make a Templar Archives. And let's not forget about this drop over here, which can actually reach up the hill, apparently.
Oh, yeah. It looks so awkward, the Marauder's slow shot, like it's weird. Well, this has bought enough time for Charge to finish, as well as a few more Immortals to pop out. I mean, these Immortals can actually add a lot of DPS as long as they aren't the only thing there, because they just get targeted down way too fast. And Journey, you know, he has a big supply lead, but can't quite break up. He needs a bigger Viking count, and surprisingly, he's only stopped after 6, so maybe not.
Well, Colossus is getting really low. One goes down, second one's going to go down like nobody's business. Actually wasting shots here on the Mothership Core. Overcharge was pop, but I think there's just too much on the ground. Like, even if he backs away from this for now, Journey's come out of this, I think, with a very nice standing army. There's even a Widowmine just waiting to get involved with something here. My time will come. Eventually.
I don't think there's an observer on the field. Oh, there's one observer, and it's in the, well, it's on Journey's side of the map, so that's not really helping against the Widowmines, and I like that Journey is producing Widowmines. It's not, I mean, you know, when you go to the Colossus opener, people stop hitting Widowmines, but I think they're still very effective, especially if you notice that they're hanging an observer over the army.
Well, you know, puCK, I kind of understand now a little bit why he was like so insistent on playing on the North American server. If he's gonna do something a little bit cheeky and funny like this, you want to have as much control of your Colossus as possible. But yeah, his army withstanding is not the greatest, and I'd say this is primarily just because of the upgrades. I don't know if Journey's identified that that's the case or not, but he's also not really pursuing 2-2 too much. He's just going for that sort of brute force enough units. And in this scenario, I think it works, because you don't need 2-2 if you've got an extra 15 Marines in your army.
I don't know. I think puCK's best option is to try and hold off on a third for as long as possible and hope for a miraculous engagement with Journey already making, you know, Ghosts for EMPs. There's no surprise anymore. There's not having too many Colossus versus too little Vikings, and the same for Ghosts and High Templars.
That was kind of an awful EMP. Like one Zealot, sadly. Of course, you want to blanket the Immortals with that win where you can. Or not the Immortals, but the Archons.
Oh, these Zealots.
The Widowmine actually works as an EMP, though. One of the Archons goes down here pretty quickly. Now there's an Observer out here for puCK. Sadly, Storm is so close to finishing, not quite here yet.
The Vikings didn't even on the action as well. The Archons go down immediately. The Mortals soon to follow.
Alright, Journey's going to take game number 1 here, guys. And